Hello, everyone, and again, this is Sharon Munoz. I apologize in advance for the background noises again. There are more children, but I appreciate all of you for getting through another video of mine with children in the background. But to reflect on my order of worship from this past week, I think what came pretty easily, which surprised me, was the wording. I found the language of the prayers and the liturgical elements flowed naturally for me, and I did really enjoy crafting those prayers because one, it felt grounded in tradition for me. I've been in the ELCA church since I was 16, and so they were meaningful. But I also enjoyed writing those prayers of the intercession where I could name specific realities happening in the world right now, such as immigration, food insecurity, those experiencing displacement. That made the order of worship feel more connected to real life rather than just abstract themes. My biggest challenge would have to be the confession and forgiveness, though. It felt very authoritative to write, and I wrestled with how strong or direct the language should be. I didn't want to sound too soft or too vague, but I also wanted it to remain appropriate for the liturgical setting. But in the end, for my order of worship, I did end up going and using more direct language because I do believe that we should already know what it means to love and to serve others. So the issue is not a lack of knowledge, but a lack of action. And I wanted that confession and forgiveness to reflect that. But it did bring up some personal conviction for me as well, especially around the idea of being spiritually lukewarm. And in terms of what I created that was outside my usual experience, I stayed mostly within the traditional ELCA structure, but I did push the tone of the prayers to be more specific, like I said, more specific, more direct. And instead of using softer phrases like, please remind us, I leaned into language that calls for responsibility and action. And it was a small change, but it did feel meaningful with it. It felt like a meaningful shift within the tradition. Looking back, I see my strength is working with language. So finding ways to express theological ideas in a way that felt more clear, intentional, and meaningful. But at the same time, I did recognize that my weakness is in music. So that's a definite growth area for me. I did not engage as deeply with the hymn selection or musical elements. I did kind of just go through the hymnal book and pick what made the most sense. And I even followed some suggestions from this one source that we get to use. But with that's the growth edge that it revealed. Just learning how to work faithfully within a tradition while still bringing some authenticity and thoughtful expression into it. And overall, my biggest takeaway from the assignment was that worship planning is deeply structured, deeply personal, and the liturgy does provide a framework, and I do appreciate those frameworks. But within that framework, there's still room for us to be intentional, for conviction to take place, and for creativity to find its way into a worship. And so, yeah, this assignment really helped me see language, tone, and even small choices can make a big impact. So, thank you, and I look forward to hearing from everyone else.